So have you been thinking about selling, but you feel like maybe there's stuff that you're going to have to do at your house and you really don't want to talk to an agent because you know they're just going to tell you you have to completely remodel and do all these things before you even list your house? Well, I'm Rhonda with the Rhonda Ever Group at Comey and Shepard Realtors in Cincinnati, and we're going to talk about all those renovation tips right now. The questions that I hear most are, what am I going to get back for all the things that I do? Well, it depends on what you're going to do, but I can tell you to start, paint and flooring are usually the two things that cost the least but have the biggest return. Paint, it just makes the whole place look nice and clean and fresh. And same with carpet. I mean, those are the two, walls and floors and ceilings and trim. That's the house. All the rest of the stuff that's in the house, your furnishings and whatnot, none of that means anything to anyone. So you could have the cutest furniture, but if you're going to leave somebody with hardwood floors that need refinished, they're not going to pay you top dollar. So how do we fix that? Well, the trend right now is really to get rid of as much carpet as you possibly can and put down either luxury vinyl plank or a hardwood. And when you're in the upper price points, pretty much over that, $500,000-$600,000, if you're gonna do luxury vinyl, like that's fine, but it just needs to be a very good quality. And then again, your other option would be hardwood. And there is an engineered product that some people like to use, but it's really not practical if the person buying the house has pets or children, or possibly they cook a lot. And if that's in a wet area, like a kitchen, laundry rooms, like sometimes that engineered product to me, it just doesn't make sense. If I'm going to spend that much money, I'm going to get the real thing, or I'm going to get something that is what they call life-proof. So make sure if you are putting in like a hardwood or an LVP that you're doing like big areas and don't just have like hardwood here and then LVP over here and carpet over there. Try to make it very consistent, and it's going to make the whole area look much bigger. So even if you have a big house with big rooms and you think, well, I can split this up, it's still going to look so much better if it's just one thing. And the other thing is it helps people feel like they don't have to pull stuff up and try to match something. Like, just if you're going to do the main floor, do the whole main floor. Unless it really makes sense to split it, I would do all of it. If your carpeting there needs replaced anyway, if you can afford it, just do the entire thing in the same product. We're just going to touch on this for a second. Paint colors. Well, we kind of heard after COVID, everyone was like, ooh, we're going to do color now. Everybody's sick of all these neutrals. Well, that's great until you go to sell your home and then people really just want something neutral. They don't want to feel like they have to cover up, bright orange or yellow or pink. Simple. Just keep it simple. People want to see the walls, the ceiling, the floors, the woodwork. And so keep it just neutral. I really recommend not just a gray that's mixed with blue, or it's just black and white. Definitely a warm gray that has some tan in it. We have to be careful because you don't want something that's going to turn pink on the walls. So please, please, please make sure that you test it in whatever rooms you're going to paint it. And if you're not going to paint the whole house the same color, try to do like the big areas that people are going to live in. So those big spaces, just try to give it some consistency. Again, that's going to make the whole house look clean and fresh. If you need help with colors, honestly, I used to be a painter. I do pretty well with colors most of the time. kind of a trick to it, and I'm not going to go into that whole thing, but happy to bring swatches over if you think that you need some help with colors. All right, so what about the big mechanical items? The roof, the HVAC, the hot water heater, windows. Windows can be a big thing. So how do we treat those items? Definitely if something is not working properly, we either want to get it fixed, or if it's super old, it may just make sense to replace it. I understand that money is not unlimited. It is finite, and so it may not be in your budget. And sometimes we may just wait and see, how many offers are we getting? What kinds of offers are we getting? Do we need to just say that there will be a credit for one of those items? Now, if a roof is really old, there's really not much life in it. There's repairs that need to be made anyway. The buyers may very well ask you to pay a vendor to put a roof on after closing, or they may ask for it to be replaced before closing. Not unusual. And sometimes it's just best, especially if you are not seeing leaks, it's just best to kind of wait and see what the situation is, unless it just looks really bad. And if it does, it may just be worth replacing. Now, HVAC and water heaters and things like that, sometimes we just offer a home warranty right up front. If everything's older or toward the end of its life, adding that home warranty for the buyer at least gives them an opportunity. If it dies in that first year, they can get one for less money. Most people feel like that's an okay trade. They may also ask for it to be cleaned and serviced before closing. They may ask for something to be replaced or money to go toward it if, say, you have a bigger home that has multiple units. So I've seen that as well. But lots of options, and it's one of those things where it's not always an easy answer. We just kind of have to evaluate what is the biggest issue going on in the house. What do we think buyers are going to ask for? All right, so you've probably heard that kitchens and bathrooms are where you get the most return on your money. I'm not positive that that's still true, but what I do know is that there's a wide variety of things that you can do. So it could be that the floors in the bathrooms all need replaced, the toilets are replaced, and pretty much once you get to 20 plus years, it just, stuff needs done. If you haven't maintained it or changed the floor ever, and you still have builder grade whatnot in your bathrooms, it's time for an upgrade. So here's the options. Either you do it, or we lower the price and the next person does it. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to go millions of dollars, but even if you do one bathroom, that is going to go a long way. And if it happens to be the owner's suite bathroom, that is going to get you more money than it just being a hall bath. Because number one, it's probably the most expensive bathroom. Secondly, how many buyers are excited about sharing a bathroom with the rest of their family while they renovate the only bathroom that's attached to their room? But what about the kitchen? Everybody loves an amazing kitchen, and so many times those photos of the big islands and the new fancy, faucets and sinks or countertops or backsplash, that's the thing that gets the people into the house. So do I say you need to renovate your entire kitchen? Not necessarily. So I would say that if your cabinets are solid and they are placed in a good spot, your flooring is good, I would possibly consider repainting or actually painting the cabinets. I'm not really a fan of refacing because so many times it's not wood doors, it's like a melamine, and you can't paint those, you can't do anything with those. So to me, that is a huge waste of money. I don't want you to spend money on that. If you can have somebody put newer doors on it, maybe they have the soft close hinges, that's okay. But the other option is painting them. They always look best if they're sprayed, but you have to deal with what you've got. It's just definitely, if you're on the higher end, you need to make sure that it looks higher end. And if you're going to go to those lengths to update the cabinets in some manner, you probably want to put granite or quartz on top. It doesn't mean that you have to do $70 Calcutta. It does, however, mean that you may not want to do the cheapest, but you're going to find something that looks good, that fits the style of your home and works with everything else that's in the home. Something that would be pleasing to the next buyer coming in. At the end of the day, clean and well maintained over the years always sells faster and for more money than something that is not clean or well maintained. So if you have been maybe deferring some of your maintenance, I highly recommend that you get an agent into your home as quickly as possible, and let's talk about what maybe are the most important things that you need to do, because a buyer is really looking to not have a huge renovation project. They really want something that's move-in ready. So what can we do that's going to help you get the most bang for your buck? We also have designers and stagers that can help give you ideas, and that's why I like to start early so that we can get those professionals in. Also, lots of contractors that we are connected with that we can help get you on the right path. So make sure that you check out this next video about buying and selling at the same time if you're thinking of buying and selling at the same time. We'll see you next time.